My name is Chief Dan Wanyawu, MNI OFR, National Chairman, Zenith Labour Party. With me here are some members of the National Working Committee, the National Secretary, Yahaya, on my right, the National Vice Chairman, North Central, Danjuma, the National Women Leader, Chinyere, National Youth Leader, Lucky. Some of the misinformation that has been thrown to the public regarding the Zenith Labour Party being in court for not qualifying and meeting up with the constitutional threshold for being a political party. Amorphous organization that called itself Association of Former Legislators went to court. And our party was one of the parties they took to court that we did not win anything to be called a political party. Therefore, INEC should deregister us. They joined the Attorney General of the Federation and all others. That matter has been in court, and we have never commented on it. But the reason why we are commenting on it now is because of the response from the Office of the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation. He made his responses and said emphatically in his address to the court that we did not win anything, that we should be deregistered. And we felt bad about it. He did not only stop there. He circulated it all over the media, of which most of you have it, into social media, thereby scaring prospective contestants from coming into our party to pick forms to run for the general election. That was the only intent of that action. The intent of that action was to scare people. Zenith Labour Party is in court. I want to say categorically that the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice lied on oath by deposing that we did not win any election. And that is perjury. I expected the Attorney General of the Federation, a chief law officer, to do due diligence. Call INEC. Let me have details of this. I'm a party to this action as a defendant, who is now singing with the plaintiff. In fact, it has been alleged that this court case was hatched in his office. He did not do due diligence. Or is it that you no longer have competent people in your ministry that will cross-check whether Zenith Labour Party won an election or not? Rather, you went to town in your address to the court that they should deregister us and that INEC should be ordered to deregister us, that we didn't win anything. I'm saying with due respect, with greatest respect, Attorney General, you lied. That is the greatest lie from the pit of hell. The only thing required under the Constitution for a party to remain as party is winning one councillor. Just one. That's the list. You can win governor, you can win president, you can win social percentage, blah, blah, blah. But the least expected of you is to win one councillor. Zenith Labour Party won 15 local governments and 176 councillors. These are the certificates of returns. These are the certificates of returns, which we have deposed in court. We wouldn't have bothered to speak on this matter if the Attorney General has not gone to the public. So without prejudice to what is in court, these are the certificates of returns. Down here. I expected a chief law officer to do some due diligence. Is it because you are now Attorney General, you no longer know where to find the law and how to apply it? You were not like this when we were in practice. Look at it. Look at it. All these are their depositions. Certificate of returns. So as I said earlier, the intent of this is one. Let all those in those parties with scratches not come to Zenith Labour Party. That is one. Two, it will also scare people from coming to take tickets here. That's the only reason why we are reacting. If not, we have let it for the court. But since he has come to dance naked in the market square, we have to dance naked with him. Sure. If you want us to eat dead dog in the market, we are ready to eat it with him. Why would Attorney General lie that we didn't win anything? You could not send to people in your office to go and check. But you know funny thing? INEC, in their depositions, say it's not true. Before Professor Mahmoud left, he had already checked all these things according to the Constitution. He wrote to all the parties. He wrote to all the parties to submit their wins. And all the parties did. So in INEC deposition, INEC said it is not true that Zenith Labour Party won seats. They deposed it. Is it not a confirmation that the Attorney General's office lied on oath? We should be responsible in our positions. If you want to steal decently and honestly. You will now ask me whether that is an honest and decent stealing. When you want to steal something, that is steal decently and honestly. If you want to crash the whole political parties, be careful. When we, yours sincerely, on behalf of IPAC, saved the collection of presidential result election at the International Conference Center, this Attorney General was not in the list of Attorney General, those Tinubu penciled. He was nowhere to be found. We have become enemies of brother politicians because they say we should allow the system to collapse. But we took a patriotic position. By encouraging Professor Mahmoud, go ahead with the collation. Heaven will not fall. If you want to know the state of Mahmoud as at that time, go and talk to him. That was what saved Mahmoud to continue. And if the collation had failed, Tinubu wouldn't have been president. Muhammad Buhari would have dissolved INEC. I have said this several times, nobody has challenged me. That was what was in the chart. Because he didn't want President Tinubu to be president. He would have dissolved the INEC, put somebody else. The person will address you after a week or two that he needs more than 6 months to clean the audience table. By that time, Buhari's tenure will be running. And at the end of his tenure, he will achieve his purpose by using, of course, the National Assembly that was ready to apply the doctrine of necessity. You will have an interim president. Tinubu wouldn't have been president. Have they forgotten so soon? Has Attorney General and his enablers forgotten so soon that we've saved this democracy? That you want to liquidate us? Even not decently and honestly. So I'm responding to him, not what is in court. INEC has filed their response that it is not true. Zenith Labour Party won so. And in fact, they debunked all the depositions by Attorney General and others that these people did not win. INEC took it in their response. I'll give you before you go, one after the other. So what is this intention? What is his intent? So that is the purpose. And I'm calling on Nigerians who want to contest election. We have no case anywhere. We are as free as the air. Come and pick your phones and run under the Zenith Labour Party. It's a peaceful party. If I might borrow from Ofruma Pepe, Serake Disin, there is no status quo antebellum here. We are free. You are afraid those in the other parties will not come here. What if they come here? What is their business? If they want to come here, let them come. If that is your fear, where you have moved to, is it guarantee for victory? But don't stop people from exercising their franchise. Don't stop people from exercising their constitutional rights, their constitutional duties. It is their right to move anywhere. It is their right to participate in an election. It is their right to move from one party to the other, and the Constitution guarantees it. Why should the Attorney General of the Federation utter this kind of thing if he didn't want to liquidate the parties? These are the parties he thought those that are having problems in the other bigger parties will run to. We are not quarreling with anybody. But you should know, Attorney General of the Federation should know that Malami was on that seat yesterday. He is there today. He should warn himself. As I said, it has been alleged that this case was cooked in his office. That's all. Why must you do that? And they are doing it to a party that saved this democracy, that made President Tinubu to be president. The intention was to stop that process. And then Buhari would have come in to achieve his purpose. You have forgotten so soon? If you want to steal honestly and decently. That's the purpose for this press conference. Ask me questions. The case is being adjourned as usual. The learned justice, I think he wants to fast track it. Those that brought this case knew they would fail, because it's a case that will be based on facts and evidence. You say you won. Where did you win? We have deposed it. But they want to drag us. Drag us. Maybe even, it's also alleged that they have the court. The court will say, the register. By the time you go upper, they will say the learned trial judge erred in law, and they will set aside his judgment. By that time, nomination would have closed. I'm opening your head. You can no longer enter. And the time we are in now is not during the time of Kayode Shaw, Karibi White, Nnamani, Oputa, Uwais. It's not that time. The time they will order INEC take their nomination, even though it has closed. We don't think we have such judges now, because they have suffered injustice. And the justice of this matter is to bring them at the same pedestal with others. INEC take their nomination within 14 days. So they know it will not happen. So the best thing is drag them. Drag them. By 38 it's over. Then they will hit you. You continue. You win. Of what purpose is that win? Of what purpose is that victory? This is what the alleged Attorney General of the Federation is hatching in his office. And they are hatching that to somebody who spoke on behalf of INEC to produce the president that made the Attorney General of the Federation. If we didn't speak that day, it would have been over. I am not bragging. We know what we did. And the nation acknowledges those who are patriotic. But those who felt that the system should be dabarooed that day, we are still their enemies till today. And nobody placed a call to say, thank you for being patriotic. They're all doing their mess. So that is that. We are letting people, particularly those who want to contest election, come to ZLP. We don't have encumbrances of any type. I have shown you the certificate of returns of all those that won. 15 local governments and 176 councillors. All you need to qualify with what Constitution said is just one councillor. Doesn't Attorney General know that? Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Doesn't he know that? Why would you go and author such a document to the court? They registered them. They didn't win anything. He has lied. So we expect an apology from Attorney General of the Federation. And for him to resign from that office. He should resign from that office. I don't think he's now fit and proper to occupy that office. I don't think he's now fit and proper. Having lied on oath. We have given you documents. We won. You say we didn't win. They should register us. So resign and apologize and resign. Now, you asked me about the Senate. I'm not in the Senate. But I told you, let me tell you, yesterday, some parties were not happy about it. That amendment to their rules or whatever is self-serving. It is authoritarian. and it is not something that should be tolerated in a democracy. We are going to court to challenge it. Read my lips. We are going to court to challenge it. That was how before 2021 election. The same National Assembly arrogated to themselves the power to order sequence and order of election. Took over the powers of INEC. I was the national chairman of Labour Party then. We went to court. They tried their best. Court said no. It is only this body that is charged with that responsibility. They struck down the provisions of the Electoral Act. So that time, if you read section 24, you jump 25 and go to 26. That is what we are going to do, this their standing rules. It's not law. But you cannot make a law that will suit you, that will serve yourself. Where I come from, the local people will say, passing 6 is not passing sense. Passing 6 means standard 6 or primary 6. It doesn't mean you have sense. There are senators that have been there for 12 years or more. We don't even know them when they pass. None has moved motion for adjournment. None has moved anything. They just sit. It was unlike the time of Senator Dasanya, Senator Debiyi, Senator Jaja Wachugu, Senator. We want vibrant senators that will give you quotable quote. It's not every day you're quarreling. Senator Adams Oshomole was very right yesterday. Why would he be threatened? Because he's expressing his voice. Nobody wants to hear the truth. We are not taking them to court. They will hear it there. They will hear it there. So thank God you asked this question. We will take the National Assembly and the clerk of the National Assembly to court. They have no powers to make amend their rules that will serve current senators. That is the position of the party, and many parties will be part of it. You see, it doesn't have to tell people not to take. He's holding a very high office. I have got more than 100 calls since 2-3 days ago. The Attorney General says you should be registered. Look at that office. His depositions and his address is in the public domain. What should have been restricted to court? That's what I'm reacting to. Without prejudice to what is in court. You cannot keep quiet and allow somebody who is holding a public trust to just talk cho-cho-cho without facts. You can't open your fat mouth to say what is not real. I have shown you evidence of my victories, the victories of my party. And the Attorney General is saying, you did not win anything. Deregister him. Attorney General has lied from the pit of hell. That is a big lie. And that's why I said, and I'm telling Nigerians who want to contest the election, take it to the bank. I'm putting my integrity, my honor, and my name on the table that Zenith Labour Party overqualified with the provisions of the Constitution. Come and take your form and run. Those who are outside who want to come and take your phone and run. You see, I don't know what's happening in other parties, including APC. On the 30th of this month, you know the political parties that have presidential candidates. And that is also not conclusive. It is conclusive after the substitution window. Then you'll be sure of those that are going to be on the ballot. Nothing is conclusive. I don't want to talk about APC or the other party. I'm talking about my own. How it has been alleged that the Office of Attorney General cooked this case. And with his address to the court, he has held himself out as wanting to destroy all other parties, including the Labour Party, whose national chairman saved the coalition that brought President Tinubu in the International Conference Center. I'm not sure he was around then. I'm not sure he was as it is. I don't think he was on the table. So when you get to office, do your work according to law, and that is a very serious office that will work on facts and evidence. For you to say Zenith Labour Party did not win anything, deregister them. What kind of lie is that? It's a lie. On oath. So he must offer us apology. And he must resign as the General of the Federation. Because I think, in my view, he's no longer a fit and proper person to occupy that office.